Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to DIY with Nadia and welcome to another Wreath Wednesday. Today I'm making an easy Dollar Tree Deco Mesh pumpkin frame wreath. Let's get started. To get started on our very easy and fun pumpkin wreath, I'm going to need, of course, a pumpkin wreath form from the Dollar Tree. Then I will be using 6 rolls of deco mesh, and we're also going to need some pipe cleaners or chenille stems, as some of you call them. We're going to start by getting 12 pipe cleaners, and I'm going to be using these gold ones. To get started, I'm going to put my chenille wires on, and how I do it is, first, let's just find our halfway point right there. And the way I like to do it is I'll bring it in, then I'll twist it around this side, right there, and then I'm going to give it the first twist. That way it's not going to go anywhere. I'll do it again. Come on either side. So if I'm coming on this side, let's find our halfway point. I'm going to wrap around the other side of my wire right here and then give it that first twist. There you go. It's going nowhere. I'm going to continue doing this to all the endings. To start, I'm going to grab my deco mesh and start unrolling them. And now I'm layering one on top of the other. I don't know if you can see this, but one of my deco mesh is really messed up on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this one on top, meaning when I flip this over, it's going to be at the bottom. So I'm going to unroll this third one as my first one because it's the prettiest. So if you run into a situation like that where you're working with Dollar Tree mesh and it's just one of these, just put it at the bottom when you are doing layers like this. All right, here's my tail. I'm going to squish it together. Starting with my first pipe cleaner, I'm just going to lay the tail right on top and give it one twist. I always do one twist on these because once you start layering, you want to make sure that these are just not too bulky. We're going to go down, open our pipe cleaner on this side, bring it together. And of course on this side, I want to make sure that this side is covered right here. Give it one twist. So I'm just going to keep it tight, and we're going to go back to the first one that we started with. Nice tight twist. And when I'm overlapping the second one, I want to make sure I cover this as much as possible. I'm going to go down and I'm going to cover this space between the first and the second wire. And then I'm going to cover the space between this first and second here to make sure that it's nicely stretched out. And now I'm going to be going in to the second one right here and give it a twist. We can bring these up later. Don't worry about it. Now we're going to do another loop where we're not going to be attaching anything. So make sure you have enough of the mesh stretched out. For today's Nadia's Wreath Wednesday, I'm collaborating with my very talented friend Zaina from OK at Home DIY. I will link her channel in the description box below. Please check her out after this video. She does everything from boho, shabby chic, farmhouse, and of course seasonal. And now, let's get back to our video. Okay, are you guys with me so far? So first we attached, did our loop, then did another loop because the first one we just covered the side. Then we're doing a freehand one where we're not attaching anything. Then we attached at the bottom, at the top. Now I'm doing a freehand one, meaning I want to cover these spaces in between. So I'm just going to loop on top. And then go to the bottom right here. Cover this space right here. We're not attaching. Now that we got this covered, when we go back up, we're going to attach. Going over, and now we're attaching it on this next one. Go nice and tight here. And I'm going to see if I can reach with this one. Here's the tail Okay, I'm going to do my best to make it here, but the thing is, we do want to have a secure tail, and it's just going to be too tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring it in, open up this pipe cleaner right here, the one that's right next to the stump, and push my deco mesh right in there. And I'm not going to cut it, because the way I look at it, I can definitely use it as a little bit more to fluff it out over here and to cover this. So there's no reason to cut it. It's going to be on the inside. And so right where this one ended, I'm going to grab the next set. And while I always like to keep it this way, for this, we need to start it upside down, where it's kind of swimming in, then put it inside here and lock it in. And the reason for that is we're going to go over now. Once I have it the way I want it on top, I'm going to go in and give it one twist right there. And then again, we're going to go in because we do want to cover the areas right here. And so this is where I go straight. Now it's time to attach again. Okay, we're coming to the end. This is the back. Here's my front. I am absolutely stunned how easy and absolutely fun this is, and anyone can do it. I mean, really, this is just so much fun. And the most important thing is I stuck to using Dollar Tree supplies only, which was my goal here. And I'm on my last loop right here, covering the ending. And then I'm coming in from the top. Now I'm just going to cut off the excess. So we have our wires here, and because we have loose edging right here, what I am going to do is I'm going to do a little loop on the back. Right there, catching the one that was kind of freehand. And now my wires are in the back, and I'm just going to give it twists, and then just kind of work it around. These other ones, they're not going to go anywhere, and they're not going to slide off, so it's not that much of a big deal. But for the four ends, you want to make sure that this one that we did freehand is not going to slide off. So I'm going to go on the inside right here. Give this one a few twists. And I'm just going to hide the wires there. Everything else, I'm just going to go around, give a few twists. And then you can either cut this off or you could just stick it in. So in review, we started on top over here. We attached, we made our first side loop. Then we made our first loop on top. And then we needed to start covering the edges in between the wires here. So then we had a freehand one, attached one on top. A freehand one where it's loose on both sides and then attached on both sides. Loose, attached, loose, attached. At the end of the day, when we're done, what I did was in the back, I attached that first loop on the edges. Everywhere on the edges, that first one, I attached it with the remaining wire I had so it doesn't slide off, because this is a pumpkin and it's going down. These I'm not too worried about. They're not going to be sliding, but the ones on the edges, I really wanted to make sure that they were secure, so I just secured them in the back with some remaining pipe cleaners. The deco mesh I'll be using is this beautiful light green, and before I get started, I just grabbed a pipe cleaner and attached it to the wreath form right there, just so we are ready to go. And it's kind of like making a curly wreath, except I'm just going to be rolling until I feel like it's going to be nice and secure without fraying. So I'm not measuring. I'm just going to give it a good roll. And then we're going to cut, and you can make as many of these as you want. I'm going with 3, so once I have my 3, I'm going to take about 1 inch from the bottom, stick it inside the pumpkin. It's the length that you feel like is going to be good for your pumpkin. and then just tie it in place. I'm starting with the buffalo check ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and here I'm just making a bow. It all depends on how big or small you want yours to be. And this is my little table vacuum, just in case you're wondering what I'm putting on top. Next, I'm going to grab some of this ribbon. What I decided to do was to do a buffalo check, then the leaf print, and then I'm going to do another buffalo check, and I'm going to put it behind, and that one I'm going to make a little bigger. The reason for this is the buffalo check is going to look really nice against the orange. This tail is going to be a little bit on the short side, which is absolutely fine. For bows like this, the way I bring them together is I take the whole bundle, I fold it in half on the inside, and then I take this half, fold it back, this half, fold it back, and it just makes such a pretty little bow. Bring it together with whatever's on hand. I just grabbed a pipe cleaner. And of course, since my buffalo check is on top, I'm going to use this leaf one to go around the center right here. For my buffalo check, I always just fold them in because of the fraying, and just make sure to give it 2 little twists. And since these are going to be flat, I'm just going to do the same thing here. Next, I'm grabbing another pipe cleaner, going around the center. This is what I'm going to attach my bow with. You make sure that's in the back before I do the finishing touch right there. All right, I'm going to fold my ribbon right here. To make a beautiful little center, just fold it in 3. And then here is where I'm going to hot glue it in place. Now here's our pumpkin, our greenery's on this side. I want this bow to be on the side like this. And for my bow, I'm going to attach it on this bar right here underneath. And then with this other side, I'm going to go through here. There you go. Through right here, so I can attach it on top, secure the bow in place. We're going to fluff it out later, and now we're going to bring some leaves in, and I don't want to add too much. I'm going to throw in some greenery in here, and I'm going to go just straight behind the bow. Then I am going to grab some of this ivory, and I'm just going to shove it right in the center. You can attach it if you want. And then another stem I'm going to put on the other side, and I'm just going to feed it through, kind of zigzag it through the deco mesh so it stays in place. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if I want it to go down, I'm going to kind of do this, and this part is going to go inside. Okay, since we have the bow here, we need to balance out this side. This is where you can bring more florals in, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all these leaves in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep them on the stem, and I'm just looping it around our actual frame. And I'm going to grab another one and hook it right in the center. Let me know down below if you ever made a pumpkin like this, or if you're going to give this one a try. And basically you're just going around the pumpkin, that's all you're doing, and then just connecting every other row to make sure that, you know, you cover all the edges and everything, and that's it. I think this wreath turned out so super cute, and it was absolutely easy to do.